Welcome to the Gaming Coop, the best space to talk about games that will likely be delayed. Let's introduce today's players. Player 1, you see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit. It's Anthony.
Hello.
Player 2 has a one-way ticket to the hot cheesesteak in Toronto. It's Chris. Player 3 will build you the perfect house in The Sims. It's Kelsey. Player 4, a haiku. A late summer's day. Sweaty, salty, stinky, wet. Man, I love hot dogs. It's Matt. And player 5 just arrived from the airport. He's on his way to a business meeting. He sees a taxi and runs over to it, but it's occupied by two people who are arguing with each other. He knocks on the window, and they finally get out of the car, but when they get out, they start fighting again, and then they both get back into the car together to continue their argument. He has no choice but to wait for another taxi, which arrives soon after. It's Walsh!
Hey!
Wow.
It's a lot going on there. Alright. Welcome, everybody, to a very special episode of the Gaming Coop. We are going to be talking about future games that we are looking forward to, but beyond what we're doing here, we are also going to be doing something a little bit different in terms of we are currently live on twitch.tv/Team Chaos Productions, and for a very special reason. And Kelsey, I want you to take it away.
Sure. So we're doing something a little different tonight, friends. Considering recent events in the human rights sphere, Team Chaos Productions and your feathered friends here at the Gaming Coop would like to remind everyone that we believe in everyone's right to bodily autonomy and funded access to life-saving medical procedures. That includes abortion, regardless of any sort of moral measurement of why. We are only concerned at the human level of when and how, and in our opinion, that means always, and federally protected as a basic human right. The Supreme Court's decision to end Roe v. Wade on Friday, June 24th was the latest in a string of government failures to represent and protect the people of this nation. We're coming to the table tonight with broken hearts and sorrowful rage over the state of our government, but in an attempt to do something, we're asking all of our viewers tonight in our first Gaming Coop live event to consider checking with their local advocacy chapters to support boots on the ground efforts to protest and rally behind this incredibly important issue. It is not simply just, there's a lot of people who are rallying around right now as if this is the first cause to start getting very upset about, but this is a continuation of Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. This is a human rights violation, and it is something that is so intrinsically important if you believe in any protections and support and championing for any marginalized communities. So please do what you can by watching tonight and donating. You'll be supporting Act Blue's various supported charities and doing just that. We love you all. Thank you for listening, and let's do whatever we can to try and forge a better tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kels. And I do want to shout out here that we encourage anyone to donate to any abortion funds. If you have one in particular that you want to donate to, or if you can donate to them en masse, that would be great. We currently, in the description below, if you are listening to this after the fact, you're going to see a link to an Act Blue donation link that will be that has a total of 35 different groups that includes abortion funds and just general support networks that ultimately help people get the medical help that they need and that they deserve. And among the various different organizations that are being donated to here are the Texas Equal Access Fund, the Yellowhammer Fund in Alabama, the Women's Medical Fund in Pennsylvania, the Reclaim Michigan Wind Fund in Michigan, the Women's Medical Fund in Wisconsin, the Women Have Options in Ohio, the Broward Women's Emergency Fund in Florida, and various others in all the states that are going to be really vulnerable to this ruling. I echo everything that Kelsey said, and ultimately I think that it stings, it really hurts, but ultimately we're going to have to just keep putting one foot in front of another and keep on fighting. And I think this is for all of us, I'm sure, like, this is at least one way that we can give back, is to kind of do this and hopefully just put the word out about how important it is to donate and also just speak out for women's rights and for rights for everyone. Ultimately, this is not just women's rights. And yeah, if you are currently watching live on twitch.tv/Team Chaos Productions, you can type into the chat the exclamation point donate, which is up on the screen. You can you'll see that Nightbot link will link to all the organizations that donation link that I was talking about will be there for you. And if you want, maybe if you are watching and you end up donating, if you have a receipt that you would like to send to us, you could tweet at us at the Gaming Coop. I'll keep my tweet deck open and send it to us, and maybe you'll get shout out on the show as we are recording it. Yeah, the future definitely feels really bleak right now, but I'm just gonna right now choose to think that there will be some kind of light to look forward to, whether it is hopefully that we get back to a point where Roe v. Wade and is back intact in some capacity in the future, or even just I don't know, just I guess you just have to hope that there's gonna be something in the future that things like this can be turned around, but obviously we have a long fight ahead. And speaking of just keeping it light and hoping that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, there's also a lot of small things that we can hold on to in that regard, and that is through talking about things that we love, and that's what we're going to do here tonight. And
if I also may.
Oh, absolutely.
I was gonna wait a little bit, but since we're here, and this is a surprise to the rest of you as well, if you share a receipt or a screenshot of your donation of any amount, and tag us or even tag me specifically, I will DM you and we will work together with really you having the power, me just maybe being the final veto of what kind of middle segment might torture these individuals with in the future.
Oh god.
So I want to give you the power to do that.
Okay.
Send your receipt to us of any amount, and I will work with you, and you will be my boss, and you can help me torture all of these wonderful people.
You know what? I'm down. I'm into it. Let's do it. I'm excited, and yeah. So I'll keep my notifications open, and if you end up showing up in the next few, it'll probably be a 2-hour recording overall. But if at all you guys show up during that time, we'll be down to talk. We'll be down to shout you out, and Walsh will take care of the rest there. But yeah.
Anytime, of course, if you're listening to this recorded, send it my way anyway.
That's true too.
I'm going to have this going on for a while. I don't think I'm going to put a limit on when this little deal of mine will end. So
no,
go ahead.
He could always use ideas to torture us.
100%. And I also will be keeping the donation link. I'll be also writing a donation, putting the donation link in the description of all future podcasts, including Virtual Ball Boys, as well. Just kind of keeping the word out, like, hey, fucking shit sucks. Let's do something about it. I've already donated.
Whoa, language.
Well, I'm kind of at that point at this point.
Wait, did you just say the word sucks?
The shit sucks.
Whoa!
I'm not holding back on that. But yeah, I'll put the link in for all of our future podcasts. And
we went from the innocence of how much Go Cubs loves hot dogs to this.
Yes.
So quickly.
Well, that was kind of the plan, unfortunately.
No, I know.
Going in, but hey, look, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to have a good podcast, but I wanted to get all the serious stuff out of the way. I wanted to, again, I don't want to sit by and just want to feel like I want to vomit. I want to sit by. I want to sit and also like fight back. Yeah. I'm very bad with words today, and it's also, and just in general, this has been a really very strange and terrible time, and so it's just hard to talk about these things. But I'm hopeful that we could do good while we talk about video games. All right.
It's also just been a hell of you know what? Before we even get into it,
yes.
The last day or two have been fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. I know I ranted to you guys about it is true LA drivers are terrible, but I was like, oh my god, such a long fucking day, news in the morning, everything that happened, and then I got out of the shower at night. I electrocuted myself.
Oh my
No
god!
Oh, and why?
Oh my god.
I was plugging something in after getting out of the shower, and yeah, I got a little shock.
Oh
my God,
It
Matt.
wasn't like, you know, like a little spark you feel. It was like I was like, oh, my hand is tingling.
Okay, my friend, you need to be watched. I feel very bad for the last 24 hours for you. But yeah, this is.
Smell? Did you end up smelling like you were a little on like a little barbecue spigot?
Did you smell like
Yeah.
pork or anything?
Did you toast a bit?
No, thank God. But
Okay, that's good. That's good.
it was funny. I was I was Googling. I was like, what do I do after being electrocuted? And they're like, are you burned? And that. No, I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share that story real quick on recording just to get your guys' reaction.
Oh yeah, no, that was. I actually had my hands like over my eyes and pulling my eyes down just now as you said that. I was extremely like, oh no, this is what.
Oh,
happened.
buddy.
Oh buddy.
Oh no.
But yes. Let's turn to the topic at hand, which is not nearly as important as everything else that we just talked about. But look, this month, despite all the terrible shit that's happening in the world, in terms of appreciating the little things, we did have a bunch of gaming announcements that happened this past June. And we, I obviously it wasn't as great because E3 is ceasing to exist, but there's still a lot of games that we're looking forward to, and whether it's a game that was announced during this month or a game in general that we're looking forward to, we're going to come to the table and talk about it. And we're going to do it a little bit different than our other episodes, and if you remember the episode last year, you'll remember how we did it then, where we are going to just do a little round table where we'll take it turns talking about one game that we're interested in, and we'll do that 3 times, and then we'll save honorable mentions for the end. So, all that said, Anthony,
yes,
you're going to be first up here. What is your most, or what is one of the games you are most anticipating right now?
Thank you. Yeah, it's tough to pin just one or like in a specific order.
Right.
But I think what I want to kick us off with is Starfield. Starfield is, of course, the next Bethesda game made by compulsive liar Tom Howard. Oh my god. It's been a week, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll power through. We're going to power through it. We're all in this together.
Todd Howard. But, you know, I was really skeptical of it because I was like, oh, you know, they have nothing to show for it. It's still coming out this year. It's going to be bad. But then they kind of surprised me by not only delaying it, but also giving us a pretty meaty gameplay trailer, which I appreciated. And for the most part, it looks like No Man's Sky, but make it AAA, which I'm on board with, by the way, because I really like No Man's Sky, but there's something about the formula that doesn't keep me playing it. You know, I enjoy having my rocket ship. I enjoy exploring the galaxy. I enjoy talking with NPCs a little bit because there's not really a point to it. But, you know, I really love the Fallout series. I love Skyrim. So taking that and combining it with No Man's Sky it's not going to be a bug-free experience. I can put money on that right now.
100%,
yeah. And I think that a lot of the things that they've promised, like thousands of worlds that you can fully explore, I think a lot of people know going into it that it's not like each world is going to be a 50-hour experience where you enjoy it the whole time, right? It's going to be like procedural generation and whatnot. But I think that from what they've showed, it's enough to get excited about it. And I actually just started replaying Fallout 4 the past few weeks, and I'm really enjoying it. You know, Bethesda really has a great way of giving players choices, of creating interesting areas to explore. You know, they create these really cool little stories in each of the locations. If I have something that I really hope for Starfield, it's that the scale does not compromise on the quality of each individual experience. Because that really is where the magic of Bethesda games is. It's all the little memorable experiences you make through the main quest journey.
Yeah, absolutely. My first Bethesda RPG was Skyrim this year. Having played through that, and really enjoying a lot of the side quests, it did get me excited to check out what Starfield is going to be. I was looking forward for it to come out this year. Obviously, that's no longer the case, but I'm more than happy for them to kind of improve on it and see what happens. I there's not like a lot that I'm looking forward to in it, like in terms of like what I'm super excited about. I think that I'm just there for the experience. My hope is I can use the tilde to turn on God mode and then just like fuck around in space. Like that's really all I care about. And then I'm hoping that I think that there's been a lot of discourse about how there's going to be thousands of planets, and how much content are they going to be able to fit on those planets, and will they be able to keep all of them interesting? And the likely answer is probably not, but I don't think that's gonna matter if what the core game ends up being, and if there's some pretty solid side quests all around. Like, I don't think it's gonna matter if one planet ends up being a dud amongst the thousands. I'm looking forward to it. I think why I was really I don't think I was really caring about too much, but now the more we kind of get away from it, the more I'm like, oh, that's gonna be fun. I think is gonna be the ship customization.
Yep.
That's like how it's gonna be, like you can design it and shape it any which way you want. Like, I think that's gonna be really, really cool. I hope. I don't know. Something tells me that it's gonna be like limited to the amount of resources that you have, or at least that's what I'm worried about. I hope that is not the case. But we'll see. Anyone else looking forward to Starfield in any way?
Yeah.
Anything specifically?
I am looking forward to it. However, I'm like, I've been so let down by gaming people that I've really loved and trusted for previous series that have just completely fucking failed, that I'm like always a little bit like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, but I don't want to get my hopes up because I'm afraid that they're gonna blow it.
Mm-hmm.
And while I am like very much looking forward to seeing what Starfield has to offer, I am notoriously, as I've said before on the Coop, extremely picky and a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Don't agree with that one. Don't agree with that one. Just kidding. But so like I'm not sure if like I'm hoping, like, I love the Mass Effect series so much that like anything else space related I will compare to that just because I'm annoying. And so I don't know, like I am looking forward to it, but I have some trepidations. I'm a little bit concerned at how they're really gonna if they're really gonna pull it off. And I really want Elder Scrolls 6. So
yeah.
I really want them to just push this out to then just go to that.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally valid. We'll see. I think it's good. It's ambitious for as fuck. So we'll see if they can pull it off.
Ambitious AF. Also, when you said that you played your first Bethesda RPG this year with Skyrim, in my head I went, "Welcome to the family, son."
But yeah, I definitely want to like try Fallout at some point too. But I feel like Skyrim. I don't know. Like I think that with Fallout, I guess my only trepidation with that is the gore, because I feel like Skyrim is not nearly as gory as Fallout could be. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. If there's no one else that wants to speak on Starfield, we will move on to me, my first game, and I'm gonna talk about a little game called, and I believe this is correct pronunciation because I've heard people pronounce it many a way, Schim? I'm gonna say it's Schim because that does make sense. Anyways, anyone who was watching a bunch of showcases like my obsessed ass does, I might have seen Schim show up a few times. Once at Day of the Devs, and another time at the Wholesome Direct. And Schim, if you do not know, is basically a platforming game where you are jumping between shadows. And you yourself are a little shadow creature, and you're on the hunt for the human being that you are the shadow of. And so you can't survive in a non-shadow, so you were basically just jumping between different shadows that are being projected by objects that are around you, like lampposts or like bicycles and cars and things like that. Like you have a lot of different shadows in this environment, and it's super like what the trailers have shown. It's like super stylized, where like everything is like one color, and then you have like the shadows that stand out. And it's super detailed. It looks so much fun. It was, I think, a lot of people raved about it from like the little bit of time that they had to preview the game during Summer Game Fest. And it's just it's one of those it's perfectly tailored made for me, who generally loves games that are super chill, that are just fun, that feel good mechanically, and also tell a very wholesome story. And I don't know if what's a more wholesome story than a shadow trying to find its long lost human. I don't know. There's just something about it that's really sentimental, and they do talk about, the developers talk about that they were inspired by like being a child and making up rules, and you know, we're like when playing as children, where you only try to go to the shadows in your backyard, and that's kind of like the inspiration for this game. And I just think it looks neat. It is easily my most anticipated game at this point. I'm very much looking forward to it. It does not have a release date, which is a slight bummer, but you know what? I'm hopeful that, you know, that they are making good progress on it, and whenever it's ready, it's ready. And I'm excited to try it out. Anyone else take a look at Schim and might be interested in it?
I would argue that it's Skim.
Do you think it's Schim?
I feel like it's Skim only because the SCH traditionally has a sk sound to it.
Yeah.
And to me, it has to do with the shadows are almost acting like puddles with the dynamic. So I think of like skimming a puddle or skimming the water. So that it would be my argument. I have literally nothing else to contribute other than it looks very good, and I'm excited to hear how it pans out, because I think that I champion new novel ideas.
Yes.
And I'm so fucking tired of all of the games that come out that are literally just carbon copies of what came before with maybe slight texture adjustments. Like, I'm so over it. So I completely applaud and want to support fully any developers who are coming out with games that are like genuinely new and novel.
Yeah.
So kudos to them.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything to say about Skim or Schim, whatever the fuck?
Looks adorable.
It really does.
Yeah, I just want to, like, they when they were demoing it, they were actually talking about how you do tasks where you actually help some shadows that are just kind of like hanging out. You're helping them find their objects as well. And so it's like also a little quest game as well, along with just being a platformer. And it's just it just has everything that I love about games. It reminds me so much specifically the puddle shadow jumping mechanic reminds me a lot of what was in Chicory and Splatoon, where you're in like the ink, or you're in like the paint, and you're jumping from ink to ink, or paint to paint. Like that, both of those games have those elements of it. And I cannot wait to play this game. Okay, Kelsey, you're next up. Another game from Day of the Devs.
Next up. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. My document wasn't opening. Okay. So my first This is from Day of the Devs. This wasn't on Wholesome, or was it also on Wholesome?
I think it might have been.
It probably
both.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Both. Yeah.
So anyway, we're talking about Bear and Breakfast. So I was immediately drawn to this game when it was initially announced because it is vibes. It is like so many vibes all at once. And really, I just am so excited because it feels to me like it's going to be my fall comfort game. Like traditionally, my fall comfort games are the Animal Crossing and the Stardew Valley, but this just has that kind of dynamic and feel. And I also have to say that I was relishing in all of the developers who were not taking themselves too seriously at all with their announcements and their trailers. Like this was to me one of the funniest trailers that was announced and shown around because the bear is so passionate yet so incredibly clumsy, as you would expect a wild bear trying to run in for humans would be. Like they do not take it too seriously. They lean into the fact that this is quite literally a wild bear who has decided to run a bed and breakfast. Like it is not, we are not taking like an necessarily like a anthropomorphic, like well trained, like this is his next installment of inns. He owns a chain across the country. Like, no, this is a wild bear running a local inn. And I resonated with it because it felt like it was me when I'm having one of my hot girl manic DIY moments. Like I just resonated so hard with the bear, and it just feels really wholesome. And unfortunately, I failed to write down the name of the developer or publisher in my notes. So just
Gummy
really
Cat?
quick.
Gummy Cat
Is it Gummy Cat? Okay, I
Yeah.
had that. I put the wrong bullet underneath the wrong game. So yes, it's Gummy Cat, and I believe this is their first game.
Could be.
I believe that it is. And I love the Gummy Cat logo too. Like it's very clear that they are not taking themselves too seriously. Exactly. It is this chubby gummy fucking little cartoon cat with its showing you its asshole essentially. And I just I just love. So I am already anticipating that this is going to have a very good lighthearted humor to it. Again, I'm always biting the inside of my cheek, hoping that these things that are presented are actually going to be pulled off and good. So I'm just going to wait to see what happens. But I have faith that it seems that they are very dedicated to this project and that it's going to end up being a fun little comforting dissociative game for me to play during the fall. So
100%.
just seems really, really wholesome.
Yeah. I love the way that this game looks. This is definitely among the many people have that I follow are also looking forward to it. For those who, especially those who just love like a good, maybe story-driven simulation game. I don't know how story-driven it's gonna be, but it just looks like it's gonna be a real good time. It's funny because this game and then Lumberjack were kind of shown side by side I think at one point, and I was very confused at first. I thought they were the same game. They are not. They're also stylistically different, and their gameplay is completely different. But they're both bears, so you can't blame me. But this is gonna be I'm really hopeful that this ends up becoming like the next like super wholesome fun simulation game that people could get into, because it does seem super duper charming.
It's cute.
Yeah. And also I should note that the Schim developer's name was Edmund van der Werf, and I believe he's working with another individual. I do not know if they have a team name. I forgot to mention that earlier. Apologies to those developers for not crediting them.
I apologize.
But yeah, no, yeah, I love that it's on the Switch. I think that for indie games, I feel like the Switch is such a good platform for them because it's a very accessible platform compared to everything else. Like even PC, PC is great to have, but like I think for some people it's hard to run games on their PC. Having the Switch with indie games, and not to say it runs well on Switch necessarily, but it definitely is like a great place for them because I think a lot of people own a Switch and it's an easy place to have games for. So I
personally, like when I talk about my cozy fall game, that is strictly for the games at which I can put on my little fire-scented candle and my little fake fucking fireplace and wrap myself in my little cozy and put myself in my little corner where I look like a fucking hamster that I just
Right.
tucked myself in, and I can play my game. Like that is what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Okay. Next up is Matt. What is one of your most anticipated games?
All right, so I'm going to talk about that shooty space game that was shown off at Summer Games Fest because they
Shooty
showed
space game.
they showed off that game like a lot and like a bunch of trailers for that one game. So it must be good. No, I'm actually talking about I'm going to be talking about Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, developed by Game Freak, of course. When the announcement trailer came out earlier this year, I was almost not disappointed, but surprised because I was thinking, wow, this seems early for another Pokemon game. But no, they seem to be on a 3-year generation cycle, which is hopefully sustainable.
Yeah.
I worry about that a little bit, but at this point, Pokemon is a money printing machine that the Pokemon Company International is going to keep milking for whatever it's worth. Which I get it. So I've kind of like I've moved away from like expecting every Pokemon game to be amazing because they're not going to be masterpieces of games anymore, which is the sad part. But for the most part, they're still pretty damn fun to play. And I think that Scarlet and Violet is going to take a lot of what they were able to learn from Legends Arceus and put it into a more standard Pokemon game. I think that the environments, the new Pokemon so far for Scarlet and Violet look amazing. I love the way the legendaries look. I love the fact that there's going to be such distinct version differences in the legendaries and the professors. The starters look a ton of fun. Fuecoco is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I do not like, and I will bitch and moan about this, is the fucking player character designs. They look like porcelain doll, like baby faces. I hate them. I hate them so much. But it is going to be interesting to see how they do a very non-linear Pokemon game, because it's most Pokemon games are you go and you do things in this specific order and then you get to the end and you win, and this seems to be a little bit more spread out. So I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I will probably be getting both, but I'm gonna do Scarlet is gonna be my main version, and holy shit, the Scarlet Legendary looks cool.
Yeah, I am a new Pokemon fan, I guess you could say.
To the family, Sean.
You're welcome. Yeah. It's a lot of welcoming. It's new franchises. Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus was fucking phenomenal. I mean, obviously it had its flaws, and I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a perfect game by any means. And I think one thing I definitely tell is a big difference with Scarlet and Violet here is that, my God, the world looks like it has so much more personality already, which is what maybe was my biggest complaint with Arceus. But I really I want to try it. I'm not the biggest turn-based combat guy. I feel like I tend to get tired on those games very quickly. But I want to try my best to go through it, and I think that if the co-op is gonna work the way they make it sound like it's gonna work, which especially after what happened with Mario Strikers, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared about that, but I'm hopeful. I also probably will get Pokemon Scarlet. I just want this to be I want this to be my first introduction into like what a normal Pokemon usually is. Obviously it won't be a normal one because it is non-linear, but I like the idea of being able to explore and kind of take on whatever gyms I want to do in order. Which I know is very like Breath of the Wild-esque, because you can go in any direction, fight whatever bosses that you want to in order as well.
Yeah.
So I probably should play Breath of the Wild before I play any other open world games. Huh?
Maybe. I don't know. Possible.
Well, you know, because every open world game now has the shot with them on the hill, right?
Exactly. Have we? I don't think we've gotten that yet. Surprisingly, in the Pokemon.
I don't think so.
In the Pokemon, the trailers yet.
No, we got it in Arceus though.
Oh, 100%. We got it
for Arceus.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I'm excited. Anyone else looking forward to the next Pokemon? Cool.
Nope.
Always looking forward to more designs, more Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or tiny children.
Yeah.
Sprigatito's going to evolve into something on two legs. It's going to piss everyone off.
On a second. Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
My recording is muted. Always looking forward for more Pokemon, more cute little designs, and just little friends to hang out with.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely picking for a Coco first. That's my
Hell
boy.
Yeah.
That's my boy. All right. And now, Walsh, your first game that you are looking forward to.
I'm going to keep this as brief as I can. Going too far off because I made an entire fucking podcast for my fucking interest in the show.
Yeah.
But we're getting a game called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. It's actually a remaster of the game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. Big things, of course. I'm assuming people listening to this, it's not like you are like, oh, I know JoJo, so I'll go listen to the JoJo podcast. No, you know video games, so you came to listen to the video game podcast. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is, of course, an anime with a lot of manga as well, and those manga are split up into different parts with different protagonists, and each part. Well, and they have taken a lot of the characters, of course, and put them into the game. They've added 10 new playable characters, I think over that, actually. Overall, I'm just extremely excited because not only did the original come out in 2013, and it was only on the PS3, strangely enough, not only have they made it far more accessible, but they have also just, completely changed up the roster, enhanced the actual controls, and without getting too much into detail, it just looks cool. At the time, only one season of the anime was out, so since then, and since it's picked up so much more, they've changed a few different characters' visuals, and they've changed characters' voices to match how they look in the anime, which I don't think was really necessary, especially the colors, especially when the characters and things really don't have a necessarily canon color or style. But otherwise, yeah, it looks just really fucking cool. Whether you like JoJo or you like fighting games, I think that it's definitely something worth checking out. A little worried about maybe how the online is going to be, but otherwise, as a JoJo fan, I'm very excited.
Was this like a big fighting game when it was first came out, or is it more like this is like more like under the radar? Maybe it was just around JoJo fans that was like it was like a big deal.
I think it was more around like JoJo fans. I think it picked up more, attention than some of the other fighting games, even from before that, where they've made like some other JoJo fighting games before that. After this, there was a game called Eyes of Heaven that got a lot of attention. There was a story mode that was trying to connect all the different parts and things. And while All-Star Battle, I don't think really had much of a story. I think it was like text on the screen and then you just fight people.
Okay.
I know Eyes of Heaven had its own story where they tried to get the creator involved, and then it created even more questions within the universe of JoJo than answers. And people were like, what about this? Almost kind of trying to cite the video game campaign as like canon lore. I don't even... I know a lot of what happens in it despite not even playing the game because I have studied up on my discussions.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's really cool to see this game come back and get a remaster that it deserves, and seeing a lot of characters come in. There have definitely been some characters, and now this is a little bit more for the JoJo fans of, some of the characters have been announced since, trailers have been dropping. Some as of now have not been. Like, for example, we'll have returning some characters like Speedwagon, or we get Pet Shop. There have been characters that I'm very surprised to see, like Mariah. considering that her ability is very much, just kind of placing her stand down and then people interacting with it. So to see her in a fighting game, it's very interesting. Of course, we know Prosciutto and we know Trish are going to be in the game, which is both really exciting, especially since I don't think Prosciutto was in Eyes of Heaven. So it seems like they're taking some inspiration from Eyes of Heaven. It seems like they are adding in things. I'm really hoping for more characters from Part 8, because right now we really just have the protagonist Josuke. Okay. And in Eyes of Heaven, there was only Josuke and then another character, Joshu. And even since then, because the Part 8, had been ongoing for so long, and it wrapped up last year, hoping that not only are they going to add a lot more moves, or still balanced, but add more style to Josuke's character now that we have seen him do a lot more, but add in a lot more characters as well as now the main villain of Part 8. But we'll see how they implement that, considering how strange and bizarre it is. Otherwise, that's really it. My predictions, if I really had to, I think that we're gonna see a little bit more Part 8 representation. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping Foo Fighters is in there. Not the band, the waifu, of course.
Oh, I thought it was actually the band.
Oh, there's an actual character named Foo Fighters.
Oh, okay. That does make sense, given what's the main trope of the show is that everyone's named after a famous band.
This is and that it's funny. Part 6 is a bunch. I'm taking over now. It's funny. Part 6 has a bunch of characters who maybe have amnesia, so they don't remember their name, or maybe they didn't have an identity and they were strangely a stand first, kind of, which is Foo Fighters' place. You have Foo Fighters with her stand, Foo Fighters, and then you have Weather Report, who can't remember his name, with his stand, Weather Report. And yeah, you just have characters like that. And son, what are you doing? I'm just putting up a Foo Fighters poster. I remember Foo Fighters. It's just this fucking green lady.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. They did put out an early access where they put out only 4 characters. It looks like they've added new things where you can summon and assist, break combos, but some assists you get 3 slots to use, some you get 2. Very weird. I'm very curious to see how they'll balance it. I'm not a big fighting person, so I can't be like, to break combos is such a big deal. How could they add that? And then each combo break summon does a different thing, and then on top of that, not everybody's, and within the world of JoJo, to try to adapt that, where not only do you have stands, which every stand mostly does very different things, then on top of that, not every character uses stands. There are some who use the Ripple, which uses the Sunny D style energy of the sun. You have people with vampiric abilities. You have people who bring in goons as well. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun to kind of get to re-experience that game, and hopefully they do a good job in terms of porting it over, or not even porting it, just completely remaking it from the top down. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyone else have thoughts on JoJo Battle? Wait, hold on. What's the fucking full name? JoJo Bizarre's Adventures All-Star Battle R. There's a lot of words.
Yeah, I was just looking into it, and the product page had this image of frogs falling from the sky, an overwhelming amount of frogs. And apparently that's Weather Report's power.
Okay.
This is not the JoJo podcast.
No, I know, which is why I'm trying to not get too much into it. If you guys want to hear all of these delicious people be very confused about JoJo, you should go over there. And I there will be more episodes soon. If you are listening to this, in not chronological order and more of a binging thing, there's a long break after episode 6 of the Over Heaven podcast, and that is when this is taking place. So because right now it is out in the batch that Netflix has released, and Weather Report's ability And without even getting into too big of spoilers, because things even ramp up further, but he is a fucking ridiculous ability. Weather Report's ability is that he can mimic and create any weather phenomenon that has ever happened in history. He can just fuck around with weather, and there are phenomenon
Cloudy
where
with a chance of meatballs.
no. That there are phenomenon where, let's say, a large storm will pick up a large group of frogs or other small creatures, and then those will get picked up by the wind and then get dropped off somewhere else.
I'm just laughing because the image that was posted in our private chat was just a zoomed in photo of one of the frogs that was raining down, and it's just killing me right now.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So to support one of the characters and to just create fucking absolute chaos over the prison, Weather Report brings in a fucking rainstorm of toxic like jungle frogs.
Oh my god.
And because they're hitting the ground and like splattering, they're like extremely like toxic to the touch. And then the characters are having to like fight and interact, like do shit around that.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well.
But his shit gets even more busted before that. Right before that, they're fighting a character who creates a vacuum within space, so he uses his weather abilities to create like space-like suits of oxygen to be able to breathe. Don't worry, it's all over the place. His powers are very busted. Yeah, I think Weather Report is going to be in the game too. I'm hoping he's in JoJo All-Star Battle R. I don't remember if he was confirmed or if people were just hoping for him.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for him too. I'm hoping for a lot more later parts representation, and not just Steel Ball Run, because a lot of people really like Part 7, but more Part 6 with Foo Fighters and Weather Report, and a lot more Part 8, because there are a lot of Part 8 characters, and to have only one or maybe two feels like such a crime.
Yeah.
Weather Report is a kick-ass band, by the way.
Okay. I actually, I don't know if I've ever. I probably have heard a song from them. I just didn't know.
Have you heard the song Birdland?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I'll send it to you later.
All right, yeah.
We gotta move on.
So, yeah, fair enough. All right. So there you go. That's our first round. Second round. All right, Anthony. What else are you looking forward to?
So I am really looking forward to the Resident Evil 4 remake. The RE4 RE make. Resident Evil 4 is, I think, the best-selling Resident Evil game of all time. It kind of did really innovative, really interesting things, not only for the series, but for that time period in gaming. And for those of you who don't know, fun little bit of gaming trivia, Devil May Cry was the first attempt at Resident Evil 4.
Oh.
They ended up doing something so different and something so horror-themed that they wanted to take it in kind of its own direction because it had started to branch a little bit too far. But much like this conversation, let's get back to it. Yeah, I remember playing Resident Evil 4, and it was at times scary, at times kind of funny. It really rewards you for exploring and trying things out, and there's treasure to be found, and you can combine treasure to make more valuable treasure, and the game encourages playthroughs after you've already beaten it. It has all these fun bonus modes. The enemies are really cool. At times it feels like you're in The Thing, you know, with all these tentacles and bladed appendages and whatnot. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes were also really good. And I loved those, but I loved RE4 so much more. So I think that they're really going to create something special with it. And it comes out soon. It comes out a lot sooner than I think a lot of people would have expected, which is next March. So get excited.
Yeah. I was surprised at the first reveal of this game, because it's been rumored forever, but like the fact
Yep.
that the first reveal of it was a date. Like actually they literally led the trailer with the date. I was just like, huh, okay.
Big power move.
That was a power move. It was. Yeah, no, this is exciting. A lot of people talk about how they really enjoyed the Resident Evil 2 remake. I think it was more mixed for Resident Evil 3 for what what I remember seeing, but
Yeah, there's a lot of cut content.
Yeah, but I'm excited for people because I know a lot of people hold Resident Evil 4 in very high regard in terms of it being among the best, if not the best, of the series, and it's cool. It's fun to see their newer takes on the game. It's very similar to what like Final Fantasy did with 7, kind of remaking it, kind of trying a new direction with it in general. I don't know if it's gonna go like completely stray from the original story like Final Fantasy 7 did, but I don't know. That'll be interesting to see what they do. Anyone else looking forward to Resident Evil 4? Unfortunately, Gabe could not make it for today's episode. I feel like that might have some. I think that he said that he hasn't played RE4, or not, at least not in its entirety.
He didn't finish RE4.
Right.
Wasn't his type of game, despite it being the most prominent one.
Right, but
that's not a knock on him. That's just like
no, yeah. Well, sometimes games don't latch onto us, even if they're all timers. But
I still feel like, to be fair, just can somebody clarify for me? This is the one that most recently came out, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Resident Evil 8 Village was the recent entry. Resident Evil 4 is it came out like early 2010s.
2002.
Yeah.
Okay. Even earlier than that? Holy fuck.
Yeah, it was PS2 GameCube era.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, Gabe would not be into it.
But no, I definitely think I definitely would be curious what his opinion is, because I know that he probably will end up trying it. Or at least it sounded like he was interested in trying it. But yeah, exciting stuff for Resident Evil fans, especially with the Village DLC also being announced recently. That's gonna be very cool. Okay, next up is me, and I'm gonna talk about Another Crab's Treasure. This was actually announced in May during the Indie Direct that Nintendo always has, which to me always ends up being like sometimes better than their actual directs, because they have so many great indie games that they kind of end up bringing to the table in these shows. But I think a lot of people were really excited about Gunbrella, but the game that I walked away with here was Another Crab's Treasure. In the description to the trailer, it reads, Another Crab's Treasure is a Souls-like adventure set in a crumbling underwater world plagued by a mysterious curse. As Krill the Hermit Crab, you'll need to wear the trash around you as shells to withstand attacks from enemies many times your size. Embark on an epic treasure hunt to buy back your repossessed shell and discover the dark secrets behind the polluted ocean. This is from the people. This is from Aggro Crab. This is from that is the same developer who made Going Under. I loved Going Under. I actually finished it after this game was announced. It is such a good game. It's very easy to. It's an easy dungeon crawler to kind of get into, because I'm not really into that kind of genre. But I tried Going Under, and it was just phenomenal. It's super funny, and it's super accessible. I think it's I don't know, like, to me it's just very well done in terms of how they decide to approach its storytelling and its environments. But I'm also not a big fan of Souls-likes generally, or I'm very scared and intimidated by that genre in general. But something like Another Crab's Treasure is exactly the kind of game that, like, aesthetically and vibe-wise, that could get me into it. Because I really, really, really want to try to get into those games, and I feel like this is like the perfect stepping stone for me, knowing how well Aggro Crab kind of considers the player and and what their comfort level is, but also the fact that it's just like I just love anything that is going to be colorful and cute in any way. And I think there's probably going to be a darker side to this game, but Another Crab's Treasure and Krill, like, it just, like, there's just something about it that just seems very wholesome, even though, like, it's going to be like a Kirby game, where it's going to feel wholesome at first, and then shit's going to hit the fucking fan cosmically. So I am very, very looking forward to this game. It is coming out in 2023. I cannot wait to experience it. It is way up there. Again, I'm on my more anticipated ones. Anyone have thoughts on Another Crab's Treasure?
Looks adorable. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. And then next up is Kelsey. You're going to talk about Routine.
I am. So this was actually the biggest thrill personally for this past whatever No 3 Game Fest, whatever the hell we're calling this whole thing that just happened.
Sure.
So the thing is that in 2013 I was newly dating this nerd who really liked video games, and I had not really ever paid attention otherwise to games or game announcements or whatever, but we watched the summer gaming fest at the time, might have been called E3, and they announced this game called Routine, and it was a space-themed horror game, and I just thought it looked absolutely like so scary and looked very cool that the two of us were like, that is so cool, let's keep an eye out, we have to see if that's going to come out. Like a year or so came or went, and all of a sudden we realized, hey, we haven't really heard anything about that game, and we'd look it up, and it was radio silence. And this happened for nearly 10 years. And then every single gaming fucko fest that happens every summer, we are anticipating the trailers, and one will come up and it'll be like a little robotic, a little evil, a little spacey looking, and we'll be like, oh my god, is this Routine? And every time it was never Routine. So cue to us literally just laying and watching the thing, and the trailer comes up, and the wait was like, does this a couple of seconds into the trailer, we didn't really say anything, then all of a sudden I went, this looks like Routine? No. And Anthony was like, I don't know, maybe it looks like Routine. And then I was like, I think it might be Routine. He's like, I don't know, it could be Routine. And then I was like, no, I don't think it's Routine. And then like we went back and forth in the most ridiculous conversation. And then all of a sudden, like, the bass dropped and the word Routine came up on the screen, and we literally both went, ah! Absolutely. And like, for those of you who couldn't see me, I just like violently shook back and forth as I screamed, because we were so excited. We have literally been waiting for this game, and we're not alone, because when I went looking for the trailers, I think on the most recent trailer from this past month, somebody commented and they were like, literally for the last 8 years I've been pulling up and looking for any announcement of this game. Every single summer I Google this and I've never gotten a hit, and this just came up, and I am so excited. So like, we're not the only ones. But essentially, in preparing for this, I shared both the original trailer that came out in 2013 as well as the one that was just updated and announced in 2022. And I don't have the exact information on this, but essentially this game is coming from the developer is Lunar Software and the publisher is Raw Fury. And I believe that Lunar Software has always been the developer, but they started with the game around the early 2010s, but eventually scrapped the project and started over because they were unhappy with the product and were struggling to make something that they were really proud of and behind. And I just think that is like major kudos is deserved for any company that is going to risk losing the interest of the people who were excited to ensure that they're putting out a quality game. I think should be honored and more celebrated, as opposed to people, especially like big AAA companies, just pushing something out because they need to move on, and then it ends up being something that is very disappointing. Anthem. And don't, then it's something that we're left with that's just a big heartache. So between the two trailers, you can see the difference in quality is astounding between the two. And you're also talking about a decade of upgrades and software limitations that have changed, in a decade as well. But it's clear that they have kept to what appears to be the original story. You are still in both trailers, you're walking around with a scanning device, which is called a cosmonaut assistance tool, or a CAT. That is the same in both trailers, and it's very evident that you are searching through the ruins of what looks like some facility that has gone abandoned and has degraded, but you're also being tracked or hunted by something that appears to be robotic. So this was a massive shock to us to see this trailer. We are so excited. And I actually was able to pull up from the website a description, because it's very clear from the trailers that it is a sci-fi horror game, but there's not a lot that's made clear beyond that. And so I found a description of the game from the developers and the publisher that I don't think that is spoilery at all. Because I kind of don't like that, like when all of a sudden you'll get like a trailer or a description where it gives you a little bit too much and you're like annoyed.
Mhm.
I have no idea why Walsh shared what he shared, because I didn't look at what Anthony shared, so it just derailed me. But it says Routine is a first-person sci-fi horror game set inside an abandoned moon base designed around an 80s vision of the future. Players will explore the decrepit station looking for answers about the events that unfolded there. Armed only with a cosmonaut assistance tool, or CAT, to interact with the various computer systems, players must navigate whatever unknown dangers still remain. In Routine, players will need to outwit and outmaneuver a mysterious threat that lurks inside the decaying lunar complex. Explore the different sections of the station, from abandoned malls to deteriorating living quarters, to piece together the fate of those that once lived there. A minimal UI helps create a more immersive, intense experience as players attempt to run, hide, or defend themselves from any threats that may appear. So immediately from that description, it's giving me like Horizon vibes, Mass Effect vibes. Like there's definitely a drawing on similar themes from other games we've had recently, but it appears that they're doing it in a way that is a lot. And okay, what Walsh shown makes sense now. But it definitely, I'm very excited for this. And I also just wanted to shoot to Anthony real quick if there's anything that he wanted to immediately add, since this was something we were both looking forward to.
Yeah, I, like a lot of other people, just assumed that the game was completely abandoned, because that unfortunately does happen. People announce really, really cool looking games, and then for one reason or another, they can't finish them. And, after a decade, if you haven't heard about an indie game, it's usually safe to assume that it's done. But I can't even tell you how excited I am, how excited Kelsey is too, to see this. They kind of built this eerie, abandoned space station with killer robots wandering around thing before Alien Isolation came out.
Yes.
Which is really important, because if you look at this game, you're like, oh, that's just like Alien Isolation, but they really kind of broke ground with it, even though they didn't end up making it way back when. And what they've shown is just absolutely chilling. Like the trailer, the robots are scarier than pretty much any other game robot I've seen. They didn't have to give it teeth, and I don't know why it has them.
And it looks like in like the picture that you shared, that you said scary robot from Routine, like the animation behind that, where it looks like it has multiple jaws that unfurl with multiple rows of teeth. Like we're talking about like an ancient megalodon jaw that was attached to a space robot. So like, yeah, it's
normal.
Totally normal and totally like sends sensations through very many parts of my body. I'm like, oh god, what is that? So and like, to be fair, I am that's a better picture. I am a complete fucking baby about shit like this. Like I am so excited and this is so cool. You bet that I'm gonna like load this game up, play 10 minutes of it, cry, then make Anthony play it in front of me, and then probably stay on my phone the whole time so that I don't die. Like, so like that is the dynamic that we're working towards. But I still am just, I am so proud of this company, and I'm so proud to like have witnessed. Like I feel like a proud auntie on the sideline. Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're doing it. They came back, and they're gonna. Why did you send it twice, Anthony? Okay,
I
there you go.
wanted to send another picture, but it's
Okay.
okay. Sorry.
So I don't know. Just I think it's very exciting, and I implore anybody, even if you don't think that you're going to be interested in the game, to watch. I put both links in the docs so to watch the 2013 trailer and then immediately follow it up with the 2020 trailer. It's incredible to see the difference between what they were first coming out with and then how they still stayed true to themselves, but clearly enhanced and created a better product for us to enjoy now. So just think that that's something that should be celebrated.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Love it. I love when that happens in games. It's a good time.
And you were very excited that because you've not followed that, so you got so excited over the fact that I forget which conference had this, but I think it was one of the
Summer Game Fest. It was the bridge. That was the
okay.
Off, yeah.
Because I feel like we were not that the Summer Game Fest was like bad, but it wasn't our favorite conference of all that were announced.
Not by a long shot, yeah.
Right. So then when we had the conversation where you're like, yeah, nothing really interests me, and then I shared with you like we had this huge excitement over this game. You got so excited. You were like, wait a minute.
Well, it's again, like I said, it's a feel good story when a game that you think is dead comes out of nowhere. And it's just like, hey, guess what? Like we're here. And it's
hey.
Just, well, it's especially an indie game. Like it's very hard. Like game development is super fucking hard and difficult, and the fact that they were able to pull it off, that's just. It's awesome. I was really excited for you guys on that front. All right, Matt, your next game.
All right, I would like to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, I am not a Xenoblade player. The only game in the series that I've actually played is Xenoblade X. And I've talked about it on the podcast before because holy shit, it has banger music.
Yes.
One thing about the Xenoblade series is that it has banger music. Another thing about the Xenoblade series, minus X with Chronicles 2, and I assume 3, is that when you try to explain the plot to someone, you look like you're having you sound like you're having a conniption of some kind, because the plots seem just so incomprehensible.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are actually like in the moment and experiencing the plots, whether it's through the game or the way that I've experienced Chronicles and Chronicles 2, is through a Let's Play. Shout out Chugga Conroy. When you get to the climax, when you get to really any like really big story moment, it all works.
Yeah.
And it's all really fucking good. It is insane how well the storytelling works, despite Xenoblade Chronicles 2 being full of a bunch of swords that have big boobs.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The swords have big boobs?
Well, the swords are like, they have like there's the swords themselves, the weapons themselves, and then like a character who's like like a spirit who like comes out of the sword or something, and a lot of those are well endowed.
Titty endowed. Okay.
Yeah.
Titty endowed.
So Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm not necessarily looking forward to play it. I'm not even sure if I will play it or not.
Sure.
But I'm really looking forward to the fucking music. I'm gonna share a track that's available on the website right now. This seems to be like the main motif in the game, and what I kind of read is that this very flute heavy melody. It's a track called "A Life Sent On." The main characters in this game are gonna be they play flutes, and I think the vibe I get is that they kind of play this melody when they're mourning the life of someone. And it is really pretty. It's very Japanese if you're listening to it right now. And if this is like a main central theme throughout the game, holy shit, it's going to be fucking incredible. I don't know much about the plot beyond the sense that it's going to take place kind of in the future compared to 1 and 2, and to explain how 1 and 2 fit in the same universe takes a complete understanding of both games' plots, which I am not prepared to give right now.
That's totally fine. That's totally fair.
Yeah. But I think the story is going to be incredible, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the music is also another thing. Since I'm talking about the music, I want to shout out the composers to I think the two main ones, Yasunori Mitsuda and Manayami Kyoto. One of those, or Manami Kyoto, sorry. One of those two composed the theme song for More Ordain from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is my favorite track from any game. Holy shit, it's so good. Love the shit out of it. But both of those two are the main composers for Chronicles 3, so I want to just shout them out because they're gonna fucking kill it in the music department, and it's all gonna be good, even if the game is as incomprehensible to an outsider as the other two are.
Yeah, people love these games. It's definitely going to be very interesting to see what happens. They actually just had that Xenoblade Direct this past week. Yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how people were receptive to it. Hopefully, it's good. I'm hopeful for the Xenoblade fans, and maybe if it's really good, maybe you give it a shot. That might be that. It might end up being one of those.
Or I'll just wait for Chugga's Let's Play of it in a few years.
That's fair. That's also fair. That's also valid as well. All right, now we're going to another open world game, supposedly. Walsh, your next most anticipated game is Sonic Frontiers.
Imagine having boobs on your sword. Alright. So
It's okay.
a little bit of the same way. So I'm a noob. I feel like I'm the weak link here of the episode because I don't but in a way where I don't know if I'm really gonna play it. I am just looking forward to just the reaction and just what will the world be like when Sonic Frontiers drops. And there are certain things where if I can sit down and play it, I absolutely will.
Mm-hmm.
I strangely think that like it almost makes it more exciting for me to be able to move it around in like an actual 3D sense.
Sure.
Instead of just like in a half D.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one's in honor of Pride Month. This one is for all the real Sonic fans out there. We're gonna be fighting giant Evangelion monsters for some reason.
Yeah.
And there's some parts that's like, whoa, this monster is like a track that you gotta run on. That's cool. Or like, oh, you run around this guy and then it shoots his armor off. That's cool. And then I don't know. I think that it's a little bit weird. Some of the stuff floating in space almost reminded me of when I would play, oh god, what was the mode called? But in like the Halo games, specifically, I would play a lot of Halo Reach. But you could do a game mode where you could just make your own maps.
Mm-hmm.
Forge.
And when people would, yes, Forge, thank you. And when people would make their own maps, you would just leave shit just floating in the fucking air. And it just looks so much like that. And it's a little bit like, but what ancient civilization this spring here.
Oh my god.
But it's gonna kill me seeing people freak out about like such little things as like a seagull catching up with Sonic when he picks up in speed, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even flap its wings. It doesn't flap its wings once in the entire trailer. It literally just pivots left to right, outruns Sonic, comes from behind him, changes in altitude. It doesn't flap its wings once.
This is why I'm looking forward to Sonic Frontiers.
Me too. Well, this is you basically captured my feelings on it in its entirety. Where I'm like, I want this game to be good because I want to enjoy a Sonic game, but I'm afraid that I'm afraid it will not be good, and But at the same time, the joy that I'm gonna have of people finding all the wacky shit that's in this game is gonna make for some good ass fucking social media. Like, social media, say what you will about social media, it's a hellscape. It's a, take a fucking torch and light a fire to a fire that's already there. It is gonna be beautiful. When
that was so eloquent.
when Sonic Frontiers comes out, it's gonna be a good time. I am also very excited for this game. All right. And real quick before we get to the mid-seg, I just want to remind everyone that we are currently raising money. We're not keeping track of it, but we at least want you guys to go out and donate to your local abortion fund, obviously with everything that was happening. If you're watching live right now, you can use the command !donate, and Nightbot will show up with the link to donate to a bunch of abortion funds and organizations that will directly help in the effort to help people get the medical care that they need, specifically when it comes to getting an abortion, because they should have the fucking right to. And of course, if you do that and have a receipt for it, tweet at us at the Gaming Coop, and also tweet at Walsh Animation as well. You can also you can send him the receipt. What was it again? And then you'll message them and they'll help you come up with the next mid-seg.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. You show me the receipt, and you'll be my new favorite person. And then you are going to come up, or just pitch to me, like, what mid segment should I put them through?
Yeah.
And as long as it's not something like super weird or uncomfortable, I should have no problem with it. And then I will, I will credit you for in the episode, and I will put them through whatever funny shenanigans you'd like me to do.
Yeah, and if you tweet us while we're still recording live, and you tweet at the Game Coop, I may shout you out at the end of the episode. But for now, let's do the mid-seg, Walsh.
Sure. Oh no, I'm a fucking idiot.
Oh no.
Oh. Is this a receipt? I'll see.
Bitches are mine.
Doing it?
Oh, no.
All right. All right, Kelsey, take it away.
On the spot.
Everybody just start making a bunch of sounds like we've done a few other times. And for just on the record, Matt is the composer of this song.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Not again.
I'm not the composer of this song. I'm the composer of this song.
Stop.
I'm
writing a cease
like
and
such
desist.
a fucking idiot because I had it ready, and then all the shenanigans happened earlier. And I am very sorry, Mr. Chris, about what happened.
Do you not have it? Because if we don't, it's okay. We can move forward.
Oh, I just need to type it out. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
But actually, I'll just do the first one real quick. So we are going to do a fun game, and we'll do it here in our own Discord order.
Okay.
I asked you guys, I'm going to send something to you using the ability in Discord where I can spoiler something, where you have to click on it to look at it.
Okay.
We're going to do a little bit of a game. I think the basic kind of word for it would be headbands. Is the kind of like Hasbro type game, but you are going to get a character. You're not going to know who it is, and it'll be a video game character. And then asking us yes or no questions. You will have to figure out who it is.
Okay, so we should not, for the Discord thing, we should not click on the spoiler text for the character that we are, yes?
Oh, so for example, I am sharing this one. It says Matt, and then it has something spoiled underneath it. I added some extra characters so that you cannot base the length of the spoiler off of the name of the character.
Okay.
So, don't
And
try
I
to
should
be
not
too
click
smart.
on that.
So everybody but you can click and look at it.
Okay.
All right. Matt, are you ready? You
All
have
right.
your character.
Only yes or no questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. Am I a Nintendo character?
No.
No.
Am I a PlayStation character?
No.
No.
Am I a human character?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't narrow it down very much at all. Am I from a platformer game?
Yes.
Mhm.
So, human from a platformer game that is not Nintendo or PlayStation. Am I a Fall Guy?
No.
Oh.
Those things are human.
I don't know if they're. I feel like
Yeah,
they're
I don't know.
beans. they're
They're
like
beans.
Wait, they have a skeleton.
They do have a skeleton. A lot of things have skeletons that aren't human, though.
No, but they have a human skeleton.
I don't think
It's
that
just
was.
bent.
I don't think that was confirmed.
I think that was
It's
just a
not a
meme.
human
Liter-
skeleton.
No, but in the image that you shared, it had a human standing behind it, and then the human skeleton was morphed into the shape of the bean.
I think
No,
that
that
was.
was.
Human for scale.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that should be made more clear because I've been going around telling everybody I meet
Am I
that the beans are human.
am I Hat Kid?
No, you're not. I
Uh.
just love the idea of Kelsey just stopping random strangers.
Hey, all you people! Hey, all you people! Hey, all you people! Listen to me.
Am I Shell from Portal?
No.
Okay. Jesus, I do not have the mental bandwidth to figure this out.
Well, maybe ask more like gaming franchise specific questions.
Sure.
Or
If it's a part
like,
of a franchise, I don't know if it is.
or even maybe visually, like we're playing our own multiplayer Guess Who kind of game.
Oh, sure. All
That's
right.
nice.
Are they male presenting?
Yes.
Yes. Maybe you can ask something about like their relative alignment.
Are they a bad guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, bad guy.
I'm a bad
Human.
guy.
Nick a snack.
From a platformer. This is Nintendo. Is it on PC?
I think so. Yeah, I think a lot of them are
Okay.
now.
Is it more Xbox based though?
No.
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 It's not known for being on PC.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't want to throw that off. It's not. They're not known
Yeah.
for being on PC.
You could be a little bit more leading in our yeses or nos.
I don't know where my. Are they a character in Smash Bros?
No.
No, they're not. They're not a playable character.
Not a playable character.
I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I don't think.
Give a little bit more. No, but the protagonist or the hero is.
Okay. Do I just gotta look up a fucking Smash roster? Am I Dr. Eggman?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
are!
okay.
Yes!
All right.
Wow, that was like a pretty good, like, swift turnaround.
Thank you.
All seemed lost until it wasn't.
I have now released all of your other identities. So we will now jump to Kelsey. So Kelsey, don't look.
I am not looking. I looked at everybody else's though.
Oh, oops! I accidentally. Whatever. That's not who I meant to give who, but whatever.
That's not. You didn't mean to give me who I am.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
No, it's not fine if I don't know who it is.
All right, you ready?
Do I know? Oh, yes. Do I know who this person is?
Yes.
100%.
Yes,
Okay.
if Walsh spelled their name right.
Oh. Ooh.
Mario's hard to spell. Okay.
Mario's hard to spell.
Is it a human character?
No.
No.
Is it from a game that I have played?
Yes.
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 Is it from a game that is a part of a larger franchise?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it from Animal Crossing?
Yes.
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 Okay. Is it a NPC? It would have to be.
Yes.
I don't know why I
Yes.
said
Yeah.
that because literally everything you interact with is an NPC.
It's okay. It's
Beyond
okay.
yourself.
It's okay.
Is this a character that is new to New Horizon?
No.
No.
Is this a character who owns a business?
No.
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 Is this a character who is a villager?
No.
No.
Is it a character who serves a specific function in the game?
Yes.
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 Is it a character who handles transportation?
No.
No.
Is it a character who will ask you to do something for them and then give you a gift as a reward?
Yes.
I don't know.
I can think of one instance where that is the case.
I
Is it
don't
a character who goes behind your back and then cheats on you with your boyfriend?
Yes.
Yes. Is it a female presenting character?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this character related to anybody else in the game?
Yes.
Is it Celeste?
No.
No.
Okay. Is it Joan?
No.
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 Okay.
I think you may be thrown off by my earlier answer.
Probably. Don't fucking do that.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
I will bring
is
up
this,
the instance.
Is this somebody who is introduced in any of the later Animal Crossing games and not involved in the originals?
Yes.
Are they new to New Leaf?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it Isabel?
Yes.
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 There you go.
Yay.
In
Yeah.
Isabel, in New Leaf, Isabel asks you to go get her seashells, and if you do, she gives you a watering can.
You're right. That's absolutely true.
Yes, and also the relative of Isabel is Digby from, and that
Yes.
Digby is New Leaf exclusive,
Yes.
but you could amiibo him in, I guess. New
No, I
Horizons,
knew
but-
that. I knew that as well, so that helps me come back around.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't too bad.
I meant Isabella from Phineas.
Oh,
Oh.
that's on a video game.
Hey
Matt.
Walsh. Hey Walsh.
Yeah.
Shut up.
All right, Chris, you ready?
Oh God. All right. Yeah. Sure.
All right. Go ahead.
All right.
Also, I just wanted to say that whole time Kelsey felt like so laser focused.
Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was
She's on a
doing these
mission.
little hands on my desk. It looked like I was playing a piano, and I kept tapping them, like I was
Great.
tapping into some sort of energy brain source.
Great deduction skills.
You were actually like connecting strings on the cork board
Yeah.
behind.
Is this? A
I don't fuck around. I'm competitive where there's no competition to be had. So
Is this a character from a Nintendo franchise?
Yes.
Okay. Is it from a platformer?
Yes.
Yes.
Just taking sighs of relief right now.
Is it a Mario character?
Yes.
yes,
Okay. Are they male presenting?
yes, right? No, no,
Yes.
no. Wait, they can't be.
Chris, I'm gonna have to say that's a solid maybe.
That was a solid maybe.
Okay, so it's not quite sure. It's not quite sure.
Not quite sure.
Right.
Do they have he him pronouns? Or she, her pronouns?
She sure.
She sure.
I'm looking it up.
she shall she her on the seashore.
Usually when seen in character, it is he him pronoun.
It is he him, yeah.
That's why I said that. But this is gonna be an argument. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
No, it's fine.
when they are present, what? Where are they in the 3D Mario games?
Yes.
Are they in Super Mario Odyssey?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Okay. Are they a
Yes.
frequent character in like the sports and party games?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it an enemy?
No.
No,
To
no.
my knowledge.
Man, I feel like I am. Are they an NPC usually, or can you play as them?
NPC.
Those are two different questions.
Or okay,
Oh,
are they?
shit. You
Are
almost
they?
tricked me. Thanks, Matt.
Sorry, are they an NPC? Usually.
I think it depends on the game, right?
It
Without me
does.
giving too
Depends
much
on the
away,
game.
it really depends on the game.
Yeah.
Is it Toad?
No.
No.
Maybe focus on like what this person might do or does in the series.
Does Mario?
So I got all these.
Go
I
ahead.
got all these Guess Who faces still standing.
I know. All right.
Uh.
Is it? Are they tall?
No.
They're short.
No.
Yeah.
Subjective.
Oh
Subject-
God, they're average as fuck.
They're medium.
Do you see their
Mario
face?
Kart.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck.
You were going to ask a question before you got pushed, before you went to the faces. You said, does Mario something? Because I told you to question about functionality.
Does Mario use them in the platforming games?
Yes.
Is it Yoshi?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yay!
That is
When you
why I
asked if he
pushed
was-
you to that question.
When you asked if he was an enemy, he's an enemy of the state because he
Oh, yeah,
commits tax evasion.
Tax evasion. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a fucking enemy of the state at this point.
Well, you know
Kelsey,
what?
we pay our taxes.
Yeah, no one would blame
I'm
you,
going
though.
to stop paying my taxes.
Okay.
Don't do that.
According to the Gaming Coop's lawyers, Kelsey will continue paying her taxes and encourages everyone to do the same until they expat to a better country.
Oh my god. All right. Last but not least here.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Okay. Is this from a first-party console game?
A first
No.
party console game. I don't
such
believe
as
so.
such as a Nintendo game on the Switch. No.
No.
Okay. Is this character a villain?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can.
Are-
I would classify him as a villain.
Yeah.
Are they male presenting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Are they human?
No.
Are they anthropomorphic?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Have they been in multiple games?
Yes.
Okay. Are they commonly associated with the game that they're from?
I would,
Like, are they a key member of the game?
I would say so.
Say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Are they from an action game?
Um.
I'll say what I'm laughing about. Kinda.
Kinda.
Are they from a third-person game?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they from an indie game?
No.
No.
Okay. Third-person game.
That was such a firm no.
A third-person AAA game. Is it a horror game?
No.
No.
Okay. Is it a puzzle game?
No.
No.
Going.
Is it a shooting game?
A little.
Sorta.
Not okay. So when this person, not person, but like this individual
Character.
debuted, they were not in a shooter. However, I might as well just start giving a little bit more.
Shadow the
They're-
Hedgehog.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was enough.
Yes.
That was enough.
Yeah, because I was laughing. I was just like, is it an action game? Well, and is it a shooter? Oh, he does have a gun in
Well,
Shadow the Hedgehog
yeah.
game.
They gave him a gun.
Oh my god! All right. Well, thank you, Walsh, for providing this.
That was really fun.
Yeah, very
Oh,
easy
yeah.
way of going about it. All right, let us keep going now. We're 90 minutes into this, so we'll pick up the pace a little bit. Anthony,
Thank you, Mr. Coop.
Turbo round.
Anthony, your third game that you're looking forward to.
All right. So look, before I say it, well, I'm just gonna say it. It's Diablo 4.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't really talk about Diablo 4 without acknowledging the toxic environment at Activision Blizzard.
Right.
And not only that, but Diablo Immortal, which exploits people with gambling addictions and tries to skirt loot box and gambling laws, it's absolutely reprehensible. There are a lot of reasons to not like Activision Blizzard. There are many valid reasons to boycott their games. So it's really, I feel divided on looking forward to this game. So just keep that in mind, I guess. A lot of my excitement for it is being tempered by knowing that they're a bad studio, but kind of hoping that there are nonetheless good people there that, being excited for this game and maybe eventually purchasing it will support.
Yeah.
So nonetheless, Diablo 3 is a game that I have played consistently over the last decade. It's really pretty incredible how much they give you in terms of classes and characters feeling different, in terms of the power level and how you can go from, really struggling to do things to clearing entire maps of enemies and speed running entire levels, and the dopamine rush when you finally find the one item that you're looking for that like triples all of your projectiles for your one specific build. Diablo 3 has been an absolutely electrifying game to play, and it has been so good to return to every once in a while just to experience it, create a new character, go through the motions again. So Diablo 4, I really am excited for. And they've switched up the classes a bit. They've retired some racist tropes, which is really good. Diablo 3 had a witch doctor and a monk character. So I think that retiring those was probably in the best interest of the game, honestly. They've replaced it with
It wasn't even just like they were really on the nose about it.
they were really on the nose, and
Really
it's
on
like
the nose about it.
typical witch doctor stuff, including becoming a chicken.
But even like the witch doctor's whole demeanor and look and accent, like it was
Yeah,
really on the nose.
yeah, and the monk too. It made you feel a little icky, if you liked those characters. And I know that not everybody felt that way, but I think that everybody can probably agree that just putting those to the side is probably for the best. Um, and they've replaced them with some really cool looking characters, such as the druid, whose abilities involve them turning into different animals while they fight. It's so cool. And the graphics look amazing, the environments, the skills, the skill customizations, and the choices that you make. And at the end of the day, Diablo really is a game where it's all about the power fantasy of being able to obliterate a screen full of enemies with like a combination of skills, the rush of finding the perfect gear. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it's coming out next year, so I'm excited to see what else they have to reveal.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely that, and Overwatch 2 is like kind of like the only thing that Activision Blizzard is putting out, and Call of Duty, I guess. But so it's been interesting kind of seeing how those studios have how they've kind of been in like dealing with all the bullshit that rightfully they should be dealing with, because it's horrendous, the shit that's coming out of there. But it's been interesting the fact that they've kind of had to take a backseat while developing these games and not really putting anything else out. So it's going to be interesting when Diablo the beta comes out probably later this year. I think they said, and then and then Overwatch 2 is the same deal with beta coming out in October. So I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful it's good. I'm hopeful that the people working on it aren't being treated like garbage, and that these games end up living up to the hype of what they should be at this point. Anyone else excited for Diablo? All right, moving forward. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I am, because I really enjoyed, like, it's something that Anthony and I associate as a game that we can play collaboratively. Because as I once again said, I'm a shit and a pain in the ass, and I am really picky about games, but I always appreciated playing. Diablo is one that I can tolerate, even if in small doses. So I am looking forward to see what they do with this next installment of it. To have like a fresh take.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving forward here, I'm gonna end my 3 with Lil Gator Game. This was a game that Gabe actually sent to the group at large back in like the fall of last year, and I immediately fell in love with it because it has a lot of like it definitely like I never played the game, but it reminds me a lot of Wind Waker, in terms of like the move set. But it also reminds me so much of A Short Hike, which is one of my favorite games ever, man. I love that game. And essentially, Lil Gator Game is you are a little gator and you go to this area with your big sis who, when you were children, you play games together all the time, but ultimately she's gotten busy, and I believe the canonical thing says she's like working on her, like she's working in college or working on something that like is keeping her away from playing. So you and your friends decide to set up a imaginary game that you and the sis could play. And it's just this really wholesome game of you running around, like taking down these cardboard enemies, and like little confetti comes out of them. They don't even move. They're literally cardboard standees. Like it's not really combat in the game. The game has a lot of elements of you jump around, you can slide down using a shield that you picked up, you can climb up things, and then you can glide using I think it's like your hat is the thing that you use. I forget what the actual specific thing that you use to run around to glide around, but it's just this super wholesome game, and I just cannot wait to experience it in its whole. I think it based off of its environment, it seems like it's going to be a really cool fall game, and I think that like it would make sense if it releases around there. It does not have a solid release date. All these games I'm super excited for do not have solid release dates, and it's killing me inside, but it's okay. No, it's fine. They did say 2022 for this game, so I'm really looking forward to it. The dialogue reminds me a lot of Frog Detective as well as A Short Hike, of just like silly banter between the characters, and it's all just it just I don't know. It gives me those warm and fuzzies inside that I love in video games. And so yeah, that's my little Gator Game rant. Anyone have any thoughts on it? All right. We move on to Kelsey with A Little to the Left.
Yes. So I am so excited for this game. And it again is similar to Bear and Breakfast. It feels like it's going to be one of those comfort games. I don't remember exactly when they said it was coming out, but relatively soon from what I can recall, unless I'm not remembering correctly. But I want to be best friends with this team. This team is Max Inferno, and just from the trailer alone, I just think that they seem like the most chill, cozy people. I love their home and their aesthetic, and I love their cat Rookie, who is in the trailer predominantly featured. And something that the game itself is just feels like an extension of them based off of the trailer. And maybe I'm making this like way too personal, but they quite literally say in the trailer that they use their home and their cat and the things lying about and their own habits as people to inform and inspire this game. So A Little to the Left essentially functions where you are it's a very relaxed puzzle game where you essentially are just sorting and stacking different objects in the home and tidying up the home. It's presented in a puzzle format. The goal is to arrange things in a specific way to get the answer, but there can be multiple solutions per puzzle. And the art style is just like gorgeous and comforting. But my favorite thing that they did was in the trailer. In the gameplay, there's a cat on the outskirts of it where like you'll be doing a puzzle and all of a sudden a cat's tail sweeps across the screen and kind of jumbles up what you've already been doing. So it creates just an extra layer of difficulty as you move through the game. And it happens, it seems to me that it happens at random. I don't know if it would happen on the same puzzle every time, but it seems to be that it's a random event type of mechanic from what I can tell. But I just love, if you are a cat owner and a cat lover, you know that you can't do things like that without them getting involved in some way. That they are not the antisocial creatures that people think they are. They are right in the middle of everything. So I think that it's a very true and honest depiction of what they're trying to put through. But something that I just absolutely loved was in the trailer. The trailer is that you essentially walk up to their front door and it acts as if you click on it, and then they welcome you into their home and they tell you about the game and they show some of the gameplay. But they tell you that Rookie inspired the cat that's in the game. And they're like, Rookie must be around here somewhere. And they put a camera on Rookie in order for Rookie to like come into the shot and have a visual of them in the trailer. It's very entertaining. It's worth watching. But my favorite part that I didn't catch the first couple times I watched it and just caught before we actually came on tonight was that in the trailer, when they call Rookie in and then they're talking to Rookie for like just a handful of seconds at a few different points in the trailer, they are babbling absolute nonsense at the cat as a way of communicating with the cat. And the only interpretation I have is that they did that for the trailer, for the film, because obviously the cat wouldn't know human English. So anything that the people are saying to the cat is going to sound like a foreign language. And therefore what they actually were speaking to the cat in the trailer. And I don't know, that just tickled me on a level that I was like, I enjoy these humans. These humans are my people, and I want to support literally everything that they do. So I'm going to buy and play the shit out of this game because I am just very much looking forward to a cozy, cleaning, just relaxed, fun game. That another mechanic that they had shared in the trailers too is that like there will be daily puzzles, which will be always different. Everything's always going to be different. They've built in so many variations and random options into everything that it's like a game that will just forever keep on giving. And I think that that's incredible to have the foresight of longevity in the product that you're putting out, I think is great. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that they have a lot of success so that Rookie can have all of the cat treats.
Yeah. I've been very excited for this game for probably a year now. I think that this was initially announced during last year's Wholesome Direct. And yeah, I've played the demo I think at least once. And it is a delight. I can't wait to experience it. I haven't had many run-ins with Rookie. In the demo, I think Rookie only comes in at the end.
I don't know if the cat in the actual thing is named Rookie or not.
I like to think it is though. It has the same color palette of Rookie
of IRL Rookie
of IRL Rookie. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
But I'm super looking forward to it, especially daily puzzles. Like I got obsessed with What the Golf and how they did like daily golf challenges, and they've been doing those in various different ways for at least the last 2 years. So I love that kind of shit, and I feel like if Lil Gator Game does the same thing, I'm super duper into it. I am also very, very excited for this game, hoping it hits. Next up is Matt with your last game.
You're a kid, now you're a squid, now you're a quid, you're a squid, you're a squid.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3. I fucking love Splatoon, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great series. A lot of fun should be had the couple times that's come out. The first Splatoon I bought after getting hired for my first ever job that summer. So I have very fond memories of like getting in for that. It's just an addicting as hell game. It's one of the best like Nintendo world building out there. It's just a great time, and I love that this game is going to pick up. The interesting thing that has happened is at the end of every Splatoon game, the final Splatfest that's like usually comes a year or two after the game comes out. Whatever the result of that Splatfest is, influences the plot of the next game. So in Splatoon 1, it was Callie versus Marie. It was like which character do you like better? And Marie won. So Marie was like the main character guiding you in the single player in Splatoon 2 instead of Callie. At the end of Splatoon 2, it was Order versus Chaos. Of course, I was on Team Chaos because like just look at our name. So Team Chaos ended up winning. So we're getting like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max type vibe for Splatoon 3 with some cool like new weapon ideas. I'm really excited for the bow weapon. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I have a soft spot for bows after Final Fantasy 14 and being a bard and all that stuff. So I think that's going to be a ton of fun. Just looking forward to some good times in Splatoon 3. I wish it was coming out more towards the summer, so I would have some more time to play it. But it's going to come out in the fall, where I will be at work again.
You got
But
some good weekends ahead, you know.
yeah, I'll have some weekends. I'll have a fun time with it still. I fucking love Splatoon. It is just to like when it's like in the thick of it, and like when the game comes out, I can just spend like a couple hours just going like, all right, I'm gonna play Turf Wars for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can have a ton of fun of that, of just like covering ground with ink, and that's it. But it's so good.
Yeah, I've Splatoon has had 2 single player campaigns that I've definitely loved, and I really hope Splatoon 3 is like the culmination of that in a strong way. I know so many people talk about how Octopath is it just the
Octo expansion.
Okay, I keep on wanting to say Octopath Traveler expansion.
Yeah.
Say whatever. But yes, the Octo expansion. Everyone raves about that in terms of, especially for like its story elements, and just the upped difficulty for that. But I love the first 2 campaigns, and I really am looking forward to that. And I'm looking for I'll definitely try out the multiplayer with friends. I hope that it ends up being that. You can stay on the same team, like, 'cause that would be ideal.
Oh yeah. If not, it's only 3 minutes.
Yeah, I also they also have the PvE mode, the salmon run thing going on as well. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff with Splatoon, man. It's such a I can't wait for Nintendo to do more new IPs, because I don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of a lot of their old IPs as well, but I think Splatoon is definitely one of those, like, a newer franchise that has definitely captured the hearts of many people, and
Yep.
I would love to see them try to find other new and creative ways to introduce new properties and new heroes to their world, the Nintendo world. But yeah, super excited for Splatoon as well. All right, and finally, Walsh, what is your last anticipated game?
It's weird because I think this is, for a second time, I'm waiting for like a different version of a game that already exists.
It's okay.
I am looking forward to the game Inscryption and having it on Mac, because I don't have a PC. But so I guess I'm cheating a little bit here. But the game Inscryption just looks so interesting. I've watched a playthrough of it, and it still completely captivates me. It still completely captivates me, and I want to check it out. Not only is it this like puzzle card game, but I want to be able to play it and explore that world and just check out everything that's going on with it. I don't know if you guys have seen anything about it, maybe when it first came out originally a while back, but the visuals of it, the ways that it changes visually, that it doesn't even show in the trailer, and just the ways that it keeps you on your toes and forces you to continue to play it over and over again in different ways, and then it changes the game. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I actually played the demo for it because it was big in like the Game of the Year conversations last year. I never got hooked into it. Card games just generally aren't my vibe, and I know that you all just spent a week watching me play Neon White, which I don't think is a card game. It's very different, but I think with Inscryption it's just so I love a game. Kelsey mentioned this earlier too, like games that take new ideas and just play with them and just throw new things at you in that way. Like it's just it's so magical when that shit happens. And this developer, I forget what his name was, but
Daniel Mullins. Yeah,
Daniel Mullins. He's done a lot of this kind of creative stuff in the past as well. I think Pony Express is one of his games. The Hex is another one of his games. Like he's just known for being very experimental in his games, and this one was his like magnum opus of just just pure excellence, and I totally respect it. I don't know if I'll ever play it myself, but I know it is just a magical experience for people who really love those like strategy, puzzler type games that and card based games, obviously, and ones that are a little bit mysterious and a little spoopy. It's good. It's good shit.
It's funny because I don't think I would have thought of myself as somebody who enjoys card games, but I think that was because when it's physical, I always felt very much that it's very much like a cash grab kind of thing. Whether it was something like from our childhood, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, or something maybe a bit more mainstream or adult, like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon.
Yeah.
But when you're playing something online, and maybe you are using your in-game money, and of course games are going to be like, oh, maybe if it's an app or something, like, ooh, spend your real-life money, and I will never, unless I need to, never. I find those so much more fun because, of course, now I'm not. Of course, there is something completely different about maybe holding a physical card in your hand,
Right.
but having cards, that play and move and attack, do things on their own, and then Inscryption takes it to a whole different place where not only does it seem like each level is a challenge, but not only are you playing in the game, then like you are able to get up from the table that you are playing at and look around the room and try to figure out exactly where you are, what is going on in this world that you are trapped in, and just what is even happening.
Yeah.
It's just even after knowing a lot of secrets and twists, I still want to play it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it's not on the Switch yet. Like I feel like, again, like talking about indie games on that platform, I feel like that would be a great system to have that on. So hopefully we'll see that end up coming to more platforms soon. It seems like they did add like a DLC to it like soon after it released, and I'd imagine that there's gonna be more to that game in the future. Yeah, super cool stuff. All right, real quick. Just spout off some honorable mentions. Anthony, if you want to start.
Lightning round.
Real lightning, because we're at like the 2 hour mark.
Lightyear Frontier Stardew Valley, but you're piloting mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Untitled Breath of the Wild sequel. They have provided nothing for people to get excited about yet, but everybody is excited nonetheless.
Yep.
And Payday 3, because heists are awesome.
Yes, I want to play Payday 3 with you. I'll play Payday 2 with you at some point.
Hell yeah.
I have Goat Simulator 3. I think that was a fantastic reveal during Summer Game Fest. I cannot wait. I very much enjoyed the first Goat Simulator. Little Kitty Big City, basically Untitled Goose Game but cat. Super excited for that. And Stray, speaking of cat, that's coming out next month. I cannot wait. Looks like it's going to be a real good time. I hope nothing bad happens to the cat. Kelsey.
Wow. How do I follow that? Planet of Lana, that looks beautiful. I'm not really into platformers. I'm gonna give it a try, but it just looks so gorgeous, and
beautiful.
the like absolutely stunning. And then the environment and what they're alluding to with the plot line is trendy. I feel like there's a lot of echoing our own existential dread regarding the environment and things to come. I think there's a lot of things about like a world abandoned or a species that has died and then reclaiming that to an extent. That seems to be where there might be leaning a little bit with Planet of Lana, but I'm not entirely sure. But I don't know, that just looks like it's gonna be really good. And then my only other honorable mention is something that I have not really seen a lot of places, but I found on my own research. Is called Gerda, A Flame in Winter. The styling of this game looks like it is gorgeous and lends itself to like watercolor art. But it is essentially the story of you're following Gerda, who's a young girl. Both of these are I'm excited about because they are young female protagonist led storylines, which I think we need more and more in what we're doing in the gaming sphere. But the art style looks fucking incredible. But the description is quite literally walk the path of Gerda as her quiet life is turned upside down during the World War II occupation of her small Danish village. How far would you go to protect your loved ones? Seems a little heavy, just a little bit. And so, but I love games. First of all, I love things that touch on these ever important stories and lessons that history can teach us, but also I think that it looks like a lot of souls being brought into it. And I foremost play games for the stories that they tell and the narratives that they bring to life. So I'm so looking forward to seeing what this gives us. And it is currently set to come out September 1st of this year. So looking forward to it.
So this is the first published game by Dotnod, which is the original developers of the Life is Strange games. So very interesting to see how that all ends up playing out. And real quick shout out to Mega Wobble. They are the developers of Lil Gator Game. I just forgot to mention them earlier. And yeah, Matt and Walsh did not have any honorable mentions.
I want to point out one 2 Point Campus.
Oh shit, yeah.
Which I talked about last year and hasn't come out yet, but it'll come out
August.
Like August. So I'm excited to play that.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to that. Anything else? Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. I wanted to mention it. While technically it has come out, it came out very recently. I'm excited to play The Quarry, which is by the same people who made Until Dawn. And I am also very excited for upcoming Mario Kart DLC.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway. I cannot wait. And that is going to do it for us for this episode. Again, and this will go. We're gonna keep on posting the donation link in our descriptions for all the podcasts, or at least the ones that I run. I can send it to you, Walsh and Matt, if you guys want to put it in the descriptions. We'll keep on keeping sharing it so that way you guys can, if you do end up having the means to donate to your local abortion fund or to any abortion fund that's especially being affected by the shittiness in our country, you can donate to that. And of course, if you still want to share your receipt and tweet at us at the Gaming Coop and at the Walsh Animation, you could do that. We could definitely shout you out in the next episode. But thank you.
Like I said too, you send me, a screenshot of your receipt, and I will give you the power to torture these individuals.
Yeah. And next episode, I noted it after we finished the last episode in our Discord, and I'm just we'll stay by it unless we think of a better theme. Bizarre games. What is the weird fucking game that you've played in your life that you're like, what the fuck is happening in this video game? That is the theme to July in our July Coop. So there you go, guys. Thank you all so much. If you're watching live, thank you so much for tuning into this. I really, really, really appreciate it. And again, if you're listening on your podcast services or on YouTube, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Game on.